Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Josh Bilicki, of course, who will be driving the 78 Chevrolet part-time for Live Fast Motorsports. Josh, how are you?
I'm great. I'm excited. It's Christmas. I love Christmas, and I'm excited to get through the Christmas season though and get back in the race car.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, how did this deal get put together?
Yeah, so 2022 was not a year that we hoped for on the Cup side, um, on track and off track. So BJ and I have been good friends for a while. I mean, our our first time connecting was in 2017 when I was driving some really low budget back of the pack Xfinity cars. And BJ came up to me and he saw that I could drive, and we were able to put together some races in 2017. I drove for BJ in 2019, 2020. Last year, stuff with Spire. I was always around BJ. BJ and I talked at the racetrack a lot, so I really respect what BJ is doing, and I see he's trying to grow his program. So really, when my deal at the end of this year kind of started falling apart, we were looking at other homes, and it's important for us to take a step back and see what what we see as the biggest potential for the future, and not just 2023. I mean, we're talking 2024, 2025, and my partner sponsors Ziegler Group and I really kind of landed on Live Fast Motorsports because this year they had the Ford Mustang, and it was probably less than they hoped for too on track, and they saw that, and they're taking a big step with their ECR alliance, running the good ECR engines, and backed by Team Chevy. It's a big step forward for that team, and I like that. Are they going to go out there and win races? No. Are they going to go out there and be more competitive than they were last year? Yes, absolutely. They're taking that step, and it's not going to happen overnight, but looking long term to 2024, 2025, we want to put ourselves in the position to where we can maybe win a race. And I mean, obviously, there is still a chance for BJ to win a Daytona or a Talladega race, which, man, I'll be cheering so hard for him. But I'm just talking about like the average finishing results. You're gonna see their points go up this next year in 2024, 2025. My goal is to be full time again as a driver in the NASCAR Cup Series, and Ziegler Auto Group and I kind of saw that potential with Live Fast Motorsports. So it is only a 1 year deal right now, for 2023, but we're already working on 2024. So I'm excited, and Matt Tift is a big part of the reason we went over there too. Matt, he's a he's a driver, but he's also just a very smart guy. He's actually, I think he's younger than I am, so I can't even call him a man because he's younger than I am, but he's a very smart guy too. So just the month that we've been working together has been incredible, and they've honestly blown me away, and they've blown my sponsor away too, just with all their engagement, and everything they've done off the track so far has been a huge success.
For sure. So, you talked about it really making the move to Chevrolet. What do you, and you mentioned it, how much is that going to do? But of course, also, your partnership with Ziegler, obviously, for us Northwestern, for us Michiganders, we all know what that is if you live on the west side of the state. Um, how big was that to partner with them, and also to run I know a lot of friends of mine were texting me how excited they were to see the Michigan State card at MIS this year. How cool was it to run that and to meet Mel and Tom and all that? And now, what was that deal like?
It was incredible. So, yeah, Ziegler Auto Group and our partnership began in 2019. 2020 was a weird year with COVID. 2021, they came out for one more race. And that's when Aaron Ziegler and I kind of started growing closer to each other. We talked almost every week. He invited me out to the racetrack to drive race cars with him. And we were able to put together this partnership deal in 2022. And very thankful we renewed it in 2023. So that's awesome. The partnership we had with MSU was one of the coolest things I've ever done. Being able to meet coaches, it was insane. I mean, to have the actual race car we were racing on Sunday in that football stadium with Mel Tucker right next to us, and Tom Izzo too. We went to the basketball stadium. It was one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of. And just talking to these guys, and their mentality is always winning, and that doesn't mean always coming at first. It's a mindset of being better than you were the last year, and they were just they had so much positive energy. It was like spreading around not only me as a driver, but my whole team, and having Ziegler Auto Group involved with that too. Ziegler Auto Group always has the most energetic attitude, positive attitude I've ever seen. So that was just cool to have, so much positive energy around one race weekend. It was incredible, and we capped it off with a pretty solid result too. So it was a fun weekend.
Yeah. You talk about the move you made to live fast. Of course, Chevrolet is going to be there too. What's that going to be like to run the ECR engine? Obviously, you're very familiar. Of course, you ran Chevys last year, but what's it going to be like? Just sticking with the manufacturer again.
Yeah, so Team Chevy's been great to me. I've driven Chevys mostly in my career. But to run that ECR power plant, it's going to be the best engine I've ever had. So I'm excited for that. The races we have on my schedule are exciting races, races where we feel we can run really, really well. All the road courses, some other races as well. And we'll announce more throughout the season what races I'm going to be doing. But there's a track on there that's hasn't been ran in NASCAR for many years. So, I'm just excited for our schedule. But to have that ECR engine underneath the hood is going to be even more exciting, knowing that we can go out there and be competitive now. And, on the road courses, we want to go out there and show that we can be there. And, I think Chevy's going to, hopefully take the step forward and help the team. And we'll do whatever we can to make Chevrolet happy.
Yeah, for sure. And I know that right now it's only 15 races. When is your first scheduled race that you have?
Yeah, so my first scheduled cup race is in Circuit of the Americas in March. Now that's my first scheduled cup races. Right now, we're hoping to get to 15 races. It's going to be a minimum of 11 races for sure. There's probably a likely chance that that's going to go up, but it does take sponsorship dollars, and Ziegler Auto Group has signed on for all those races, which is incredible. And we're constantly working with vendors of theirs to add more races. We have an exciting NASCAR Xfinity Series schedule, which we haven't announced yet, but that deal is signed. So, my first Cup race is in March. My first NASCAR race will be first race of the year. So I'll get that out of the way. I'll be in Daytona, and I'm excited for that deal too. And Ziegler Auto Group will be on the car. So we're just excited to be on the track and to be in equipment that we feel is probably going to be the best I've ever been in across the board.
Yeah, for sure. We'll stay tuned on that Xfinity announcement. We might have
Yep.
you back on again.
All right.
So let's go. Of course, you just mentioned it. Of course, with the cup and Xfinity stuff. Really, what's it going to be like this year? I know you're not full time in anything, but you're going to be. You've got some good races scheduled, and might as well since you did say that you had an Xfinity deal. How about you got Road? There's in your home state of Wisconsin. You're still going to Road America, and of course
Yes.
the trucks are going to go to Milwaukee Mile, and I know how badly you want to do both of them.
I do. So I'll be at Road America. I'll for sure be at Road America. That's a race to where no matter where we're at in Cup, I'm going to make a way of being at Road America. But yeah, my season's already busy. I mean, my January already has two races on it, and a dirt race, which I've never ran before in my life, and a race with NASCAR race cars on ice on a lake up here in the northern part of the country. So my January is already pretty busy doing some really fun stuff. That's how I want to fill my entire year. I mean, there are going to be weekends where I'm not racing NASCAR. That doesn't mean I'm not racing though. I want to race anything I can get my hands on, whether it's the Slinger Nationals, whether it's more dirt races, whether it's a lawnmower. I don't care. As long as it has four wheels and it can help me behind the wheel of a cup car or a NASCAR Xfinity Series car, I want to be there. But yeah, you touched on it too. The trucks come to Milwaukee Mile, which is about 30 minutes from where I live. And I don't have a truck deal yet, but I'm going to be constantly looking for an open seat for that race. And that's a race to where I hope to put together the sponsorship to where I can go there and be competitive because that would be a really cool one.
Yeah. So you mentioned it. You talk about you talked a little bit about your January plans because I know you tease them on social media. Gotta go into that a little bit more if you can.
Yeah, well, there's this really well-known dirt race, indoor dirt race,
Chili
in
Bowl.
January. I can't confirm or deny, but I was able to put together some pretty cool sponsorship through some sponsors I've had in the past in NASCAR. So I'll be racing a car I've never raced at a facility I've never raced, and I can't confirm the name of the race, but it's something that where I'm actually excited about, and I've been watching it for years. So you can expect that announcement. It's just going to be an exciting year. I mean, my goal for this year is to broaden my horizons as a driver and drive things I'm uncomfortable driving, you know, put myself in uncomfortable situations, because all of that helps behind the wheel on Sunday. And if I'm not behind the wheel of a car every Sunday, I'll be behind the wheel of something that weekend. I might be riding a dirt bike. I don't know. I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm going to get hurt, but anything I can do to help myself prepare to drive on Sundays, and again, I want to be full time again. I think in 2024, 2025, that's when I want to be back to full time, but I'll take this year as an opportunity for me to do some fun, exciting things that I can't do when I am full time, because I was full time in 2021 and you can't do anything other than drive NASCAR, really. I mean, you're gone every single weekend. There's races where I want to hit and I just can't. And now that we're back to practicing and, we're showing up to the tracks on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, there's a lot of races where I'm going to miss if I'm full time. So I'll take this opportunity this year to do some really fun, exciting stuff. And it'll be busy. I know that.
Yeah. So let's, you talked about, we'll let you announce that thing in January. And then let's talk about this ice thing. What are you doing there?
Yeah, so I haven't really talked about this yet, but there's a race called NASCAR on Ice. You can go to NASCAROnice.com. Somebody up north bought, when I say up north, I live in Wisconsin. So I mean up north, northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota, bought a couple of NASCAR race cars, and he is hosting a race on ice. So pretty cool event. I've never driven a car on ice. I've driven on ice. Actually, I've won races on ice in an Outlaw 600, which is like a snowmobile. It's like a midget chassis with like a snowmobile track, snowmobile engine, and you physically steer it. That's the only thing I have real experience on ice. So to drive a NASCAR race car on ice is going to be really unique. Stud of tires. There's me and a couple other NASCAR drivers that are going, and I haven't really announced that yet either. So you're getting some pretty good details here.
I am. So yeah. And then of course, going into some of these races, you're doing all the road courses plus that street course. And yeah, what are you going to expect on at least the Cup side for this year?
Yeah, so the nature of the Cup Series is the most competitive I think it's been in 20, 30 years. Maybe most ever been, most competitive it's ever been. I mean, last year you saw 19 different winners. And, while I would certainly love to add my name to that list, we're a new team still, we're still growing. I would love to run top 15, top 20 on speed alone. If you can do that on speed alone and you put yourself in a position to where you're 15th on a restart at Chicago or at, one of these road courses, if you could find yourself in fifth, you could find yourself in 30th. You never know which way it'll go, but really, I think anything top 25, top 20 speed wise alone is going to be a huge accomplishment. So for us being a small team, I think that's a win for us. Compared to where we were last year, we struggled a little bit more this year on the road courses than I think we would have liked to. And I think with ECR and their alliance with Chevy and the hopeful support we get from RCR, I think we can position ourselves there.
All right. Josh Bilicki, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. Best of luck in 2023, bud.
Thank you.